Hello, everyone.
He tells me that it's my turn to go first, and then he takes the spotlight. Okay. Now I feel stupid.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
How are
Welcome
you guys?
to the At the Table podcast. I'm Shay,
I'm Luis.
and we are here.
Yeah.
Okay, he just said something. What did you say to me?
Said you look like a chemo patient with your headband. Because you're...
That is actually such a crazy sentence to come out of your mouth.
So this part of your headphones is covering the rest of your hair.
I'm aware. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. But that's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That's crazy. I don't... Okay, I kind of do.
Well, yeah, when your hair...
But that's insensitive.
When you're not able to see your hair, you look like you're a chemo. And then you have the blanket and the sweater.
Oh my gosh. You're not helping your case.
It's just...
I guess I'm not helping my case. What's going on, dude? How's work?
It's very
Oh, you
slow.
haven't been working?
No, not really. This is the 4th Thursday I've had off. That's how slow we are.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
4th Thursday.
4th Thursday
That's
in
crazy.
a row. So starting Christmas.
Oh,
Since Christmas, I've had every Thursday off.
that's wild.
I know. It's crazy
So-
to think about.
You're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of nice.
It is
Have a
kind of
day
nice.
off, separate your week a little.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the pay is kind of what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
It'll probably start getting busier again soon.
Yeah, they were just waiting for... So in Japan, they take a break off of production for the 2 weeks. So for Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
Or I think it's 3 weeks. So Christmas, New Year's, and the week after, they get break. So they're off of work those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's no production.
Right.
No cars are being made. Nothing's getting done. So...
Nothing for you to do.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if there's no new cars being produced, then I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so...
What do you inspect if not new car?
Exactly. I'm not going to inspect the old one.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So yeah, so I know Tacomas are back, but as far as everything else, we don't know yet because we're not in contact. I don't speak Japanese.
Well, yeah.
They don't speak English.
Maybe you should get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duolingo.
I mean, yeah.
Duolingo's calling my name.
Oh, that's actually so funny. I don't know if I said this in the last episode, but I made it a goal to relearn French this year.
No, I thought you said German.
And German, yeah. And I want to try and do both. Because French is already still pretty up there.
Good luck.
I just need
Need
to
a
relearn
refresh.
it. But I literally this morning I ordered a pocket dictionary.
Oh, nice.
A pocket French dictionary.
Nice.
So that way I can just like have it with me all the time.
Right.
Because since I know so much of it already, Duolingo is like useless.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
For my French.
Yeah. I used to know a little bit of Portuguese.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because when I lived in Seattle, I didn't really live in Seattle, like in the city. I lived in Kirkland. So where the original Costco's from.
Yeah.
Big Brazilian community. So I learned Brazilian Portuguese because I would buy groceries at a Brazilian grocery store.
Yeah.
And I always felt weird because like I was the only person in there who would speak English. And I was like, I'm going to learn their language because I'm in their store.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I learned like the basics, like how to say thank you, how to say pretty much literally all the basic stuff, how to ask for what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then
where's the bathroom?
Yeah, stuff like that, And so where's the library? I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
What is it?
Because donde está la biblioteca?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, yeah. So I learned a little bit of Portuguese. And then obviously I came back home and I forgot it.
Right.
Because
you didn't
use it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it's been. Because I took French all 4 years of high school.
Right.
And then I loved it so much, and I still do love it, but I ended up going on to take 2 semesters of it in college. So I did 5 years of French.
Wow.
And I still just love it. It's just a beautiful language, and like you can speak it in Canada, you can speak it. When I went to DC, so many people speak French there.
Really?
And I think it's because it's so close to the border that a lot of Canadian or like French speaking Canadians end up like traveling just to like check it out.
Yeah.
So, which was nice because I was very much in tune with the French side of me. So I was able to like talk to people, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just cool. I love the language and I want to go back to France. So,
Or you can learn, what is it? The one that they speak in Louisiana.
oh, like Baton Rouge French?
No, like Cajun, what is it? Cajun French or something like that?
There is a specific name. I think it's just like,
Is it Cajun French?
I think it's just like Baton Rouge French.
No, it's not.
Let me check. Louisiana.
Yeah, so it's Cajun French. French Cajun. Cajun French.
I've always heard a different name for it. Creole. That's why. It's Creole.
Yeah, Creole French.
Creole French.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was like, Cajun just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, it didn't. But it says here, like, people refer to it as Cajun
yeah, that's
French.
so funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's definitely a way different dialect. And that's the thing, too. Creole and, like, Cajun French, they speak it in, like, Haiti, the Philippines, those kinds of places, too.
Yeah, that's
French,
true.
I mean, most languages based in Europe are very, very similar.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
why
all Latin.
you can kind of speak it everywhere.
Yeah, it all comes from Latin. So, like, that's why, like, Italian, French, and Spanish kind of sound similar.
So similar.
Almost. I mean, the French are really just, like, they just wanted to be different and added, like, twang to their pronunciation. That's why I think it's dumb. That's why I hate French.
Yeah.
And I hate France. Not a fan of the French.
Dogging
not a
on my
fan
love.
of France. Sorry, guys. Been there, done
I
that.
love it.
Hated it.
Which part of France did you go to?
Paris.
That's why.
Exactly.
Dude, you can't dog on Paris. Or you can't dog on France as a whole just because of Paris.
Yeah, no.
Paris
okay,
is disgusting and dirty. They also hate Americans.
Yeah, they do.
Hate.
Yeah.
When we were there, they accused us of stealing and tried to get us arrested. No, I'm not even joking. We were like, one night we were just like walking around and we saw this little like patisserie where you could just go in and like buy wine and bread and cheese.
What the heck is a patisserie?
Like a pastry shop, deli shop.
Okay.
And so we walk in and we're trying to like, we're like, let's have a picnic on the grass by the Eiffel Tower. And so we go in and we're getting like wine, bread, cheese, fruit,
Right.
all the things, whatever.
Ratatouille.
We're clueless. We have no idea like how to shop in this shop. So we're just walking around and
Grabbing
literally
stuff.
someone is just following us the entire time. And then as we're about to go to the checkout line, the guy who is following us runs outside and gets a security guard. And he's like waving down. He's either a security guard or a policeman, like waving him down. And basically was like, my assumption, because I wasn't taking French at the time. I was super, super young.
Right.
Was like, oh, these stupid Americans are trying to steal from us. So this cop like runs in and he's trying to explain the situation of like, you guys aren't allowed to steal. Like you need to pay for those items. And we're like, we're literally at the checkout line. Like we're trying to pay. And he's like, okay, whatever, just pay and get out. And I'm like, okay.
That would have been enough for me to never like them.
Yeah. I mean, that's super fair. But Paris itself is just like so
Gross.
bad.
It's gross.
It's so bad. You need to go to like the south of France. Like Marseille,
where they recorded
Nice.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it. So.
You've never seen Star Wars?
No.
It's like such a biblically accurate movie.
Which you've talked about actually.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. A lot of those like big movie series like Star Wars, Star Trek,
I actually don't
Lord of
know
the
if it's in
Rings, like
France.
none of that I have ever been interested in watching.
Dude, Star
I don't know why.
It said we're in France and I'm writing Star Wars and it said we're in France that Stalin die.
Oh, I didn't know that. Was it? Are you sure it was in France?
Apparently it wasn't.
Right.
But okay. See, here it's just saying like the first movie.
Was filmed in France?
No, that's not the movie I'm thinking about.
I'm so confused. Anyways, though, you need to go to the south of France. That's all I'll say. And me and Bestie Hannah, if you're listening, we are trying to plan like a month-long trip in Europe, maybe even 2 months. whenever we both graduate. So I'm looking forward to that. That's also why I want to like re-up my French and also maybe learn German. We'll see. And I want to learn Spanish because Spanish is good in America too.
Yeah, it's fair.
I know.
Dude,
When I went to
find
Mexico,
it.
I felt so bad because I didn't know how to speak Spanish. And I felt useless.
Locations.
Are you still on this?
Yeah, because like I know it's either that or it's... Oh, I think it's Lake Como. I lied. It's Italy.
I was going to say, France doesn't really sound right. I don't feel like anybody films in France.
It is Lake Como.
I don't think I've seen any movie that's like, unless it's specifically a French movie that's been filmed in France.
Well, you can have your wedding there.
In Lake Como?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
No, well, I figured, but I'm saying like they in the specific place where they recorded Star Wars.
Was it Star Wars? Interesting. Yeah, there's so many like Lake Como weddings. That was like super huge trend for a while.
I'm sure it's like super expensive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like any destination wedding has to be expensive.
Ticket price for the gardens and round trip ferry tickets, €58. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
Because Lake Como is huge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it. Just getting married out there.
Put it in the thought box.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in
later.
there. I've always wanted to go
To Italy?
to Lake Como.
Yeah.
I don't really care for like Milan or anything.
It just seems I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm not a city person. So I'm the same. Like, let me go to the outskirts where it's prettier.
London I love. No matter how dirty it gets. I love London. So
honestly, I haven't been in so long, and the only time I did go, I was on base for pretty much the whole time.
Right. Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Of course.
I would love to go to Scotland.
Anywhere Ireland.
We never made it to Scotland. I'm sad. I would love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool though. Star Wars. You need to watch Star Wars. I have the whole DVD set.
Okay.
If you
give it to me, I'll watch it.
No, you won't. Just kidding.
Don't ever. Right now, listen, I don't know why, and this came about so randomly, but I was like, literally one night, I was like, what do I want to do? What do I want to watch? And I was like, I'm going to rewatch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I see. I don't like Marvel.
And I love Marvel.
I like
so
Spider-Man.
I've been rewatching literally the entire thing.
In order?
Yeah. Well,
that's fair.
In order that it's released. There's a lot of debate out there of like how you should watch it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just going to watch it the order that it was released. Because that's how I was recommended.
I never watched anything Marvel unless it was Spider-Man. And then I watched like Endgame. And then what was the one before that?
Oh, gosh.
It was Endgame.
I'm really bad with the names of them because there's so many.
I don't remember. Endgame and then something else. The one where Thanos is first.
Yeah.
First in.
I thought that was Endgame.
Oh, I don't know. There was Endgame and then there was another one.
See, I should know this because it's like in my list. I already have it up. Let me. Because I literally have. I'm on Iron Man 3 right now.
See, I never cared for Iron Man.
Oh, I love Iron Man.
I never cared for
Love
Iron
it.
Man. I never cared for...
Oh, Age of Ultron? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Or are you specifically talking about the one with Thanos in it?
What? It's Endgame, and then there's another one that was like super big.
Why can I not remember this? Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yeah,
That's
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one. So I watched Infinity War, Endgame, and then I've seen all the Spider-Mans.
And
that's
think
it.
That's actually kind of funny because that's what got me into wanting to rewatch all of Marvel.
Yeah.
Was randomly I just watched all of the Spider-Mans.
I love
Literally
Spider-Man.
every single one.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to do all of Marvel. And here we are. It's been fun, honestly.
My little sister recently pulled me in. She was like, hey, I want to watch all the Star Wars movies. And I was like, yeah, we can. Just know that they're very long.
Yeah.
Like
Aren't they like 3-4 hours?
No. They're like 2.5.
That's not that bad.
It's not, considering now we have 3 to 4 hour movies.
Yeah.
Like Avatar. Never seen it.
I know that I was considering for a second going to watch the Wicked movies, like the part 1, part 2.
Gross.
But I heard they were like 3 hours each, and I was like,
I would never.
I was never even super into it, but I
would never.
I was like, why not?
Literally, I would never.
Yeah.
Would never watch Wicked. Don't care. Don't care for it.
I don't blame you. I prefer the original, like Wizard of Oz, preferred to like Wicked.
Oh, I forget that it's just the Wizard of Oz. That's all Wicked is.
Kinda.
It's like a spin-off.
Wicked's like the prequel of like they're in school,
See,
and,
don't
like,
care.
friends, or I think.
See, that's why I don't care.
Yeah, that's super fair.
No, I'm just like super big into like Star Wars, Spider-Man, some action movies. Really big into military and horror movies is what I'm really big into.
I like military, but I'm just not as big as horror as you are.
Nobody is really. Not
like I'll watch it, but it's not like, ooh, I'm bored. What should I watch?
Right. No, see, that's how I am. I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I should watch a scary movie.
I always default to like action or comedy.
Action is cool. It just depends which one. I'm so picky when it comes to something that's like not horror or military.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite movie is Fury. If anybody knows Fury, amazing movie. You have everybody in there. You have Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Rosenthal, what's his first name?
I have no idea.
He's the Punisher.
I want to say Mark, but that sounds wrong.
I'm probably wrong, by
Rosenthal?
the way. The guy who's in the Perks of Being a Wallflower's in there.
Oh, he is. Okay, that's the funny part too about rewatching all of the Marvel movies is I'm like, oh, you were in something I've watched recently. You're in something I've watched recently.
Bernthal.
Oh.
John Bernthal.
Who isn't Rosenthal though, like Mark?
Yeah, Mark Rosenthal.
Okay, I was right.
That's why I was thinking Bernthal. It's Bernthal. So
who is Mark Rosenthal? Who am I thinking of?
No idea. I don't even know where that name came from.
Crazy Bull.
So it's Shia LaBeouf, John Bernthal. Logan Lerman is the guy's name. He's the one from Perks of Being.
Yeah. He's in a band too.
Really?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Michael Pena.
Oh.
Michael Pena's in that movie too.
Wow.
So yeah, so you have a lot of good actors in this movie, and it really just like, I mean, it's about a tank.
Yeah.
But it's such a good movie. So yeah, I don't know. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Fury?
Yeah.
For the longest time, my favorite movie, and it's crazy because I don't even remember the name of it, but it was about a runaway train, and it was like an action movie.
Oh, Runaway Train.
Is that really the name of it?
No.
No, it's funny because that actually might be it, and I might just be imagining things, but it's about this guy and his family, and he's trying to he was kind of like a crappy husband, and he was trying to make up for it. So he's he got this job and he's a train conductor. And anyways, there's a literal runaway train and they have to try and stop it. And it turns out to be this crazy thing.
Train to Busan.
No, literally no. I want to see if that's actually the name of it.
Probably
no.
Not.
No.
It's a song, isn't it?
Runaway Train is an action movie, but it's not the one that I'm thinking of. It has
weird. Never would have thought.
Gosh, what is his name? I think he was I think he played a part in one of the Cinderella movies.
No clue.
If I remember correctly.
You lost me once you said Cinderella. I literally have no idea.
Gosh, what is his name?
No clue.
Is it Bullet Train? No, Bullet Train is also kind of fun though. Bullet Train's about assassins, but that's not what I'm thinking of. Anyways, we went down a full
rabbit hole.
Yeah. About movies.
Movies are good.
I know, and that's kind of funny too, is because I always used to say I'm not a movie girl, and I've probably said it here before. That I usually lean towards TV shows rather than movies.
See, I'm the other
But
way
lately,
around.
I'm just preferring movies.
Movies are good. I specifically like Fury a lot because Shia LaBeouf is the Christian one, and I've always have been a huge fan of Shia LaBeouf. I just like
Transformers.
What he's about. Yeah, he's such a good actor.
The Transformers are so good.
John Bernthal too, such a good actor.
I don't even think I know who that is.
He's in. He's the Punisher. Well, I don't think that's Marvel. I think that's DC.
I think that is DC because I don't remember that.
He's in a lot of movies. He's also
I'm just really bad when it comes to actors.
He's also in The Walking Dead.
Oh, I've been rewatching that.
Oh, I don't think he's... Oh, no, he's Daredevil. Sorry, not the Punisher. He's Daredevil. He's in His and Hers, which is that new movie that just came out.
Let me see his picture. I'm just bad with names.
John Bernthal.
Okay, yeah. He was Shane in The Walking Dead.
Oh, he is in the Punisher.
I'm the reason I'm bad with actors' names is because they play so many different characters.
Yeah.
That I always like lose track of what their real name is.
Did you ever see The Bear, the show?
Oh, yeah. I loved it.
He's the brother that dies.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, he is.
I've never seen the show.
It's really good. It's kind of different.
He's in the Night of the Museum. Night at the Museum.
Whoa.
The Battle of the Smithsonian.
That's a funny movie. I like those movies.
He's in Peanut Butter Falcon. Have you ever seen Peanut Butter Falcon?
No.
Great movie.
What is it? Action?
No, Shia LaBeouf is in it. He directed it and wrote it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Shia LaBeouf original, and he's one of the main characters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know Shia LaBeouf wrote or directed.
He didn't. Just that movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, Shia LaBeouf, great. Big Shia LaBeouf fan.
Yeah.
Big Miles Teller fan also.
Yeah.
Miles Teller's also.
Have you seen The Gorge?
No. I don't think I have.
Miles Teller. That's like his movie.
No. Whiplash. That's his movie.
I mean, recently.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
He's in Top Gun.
Yeah. I think Top Gun was probably more recent.
I've just noticed, I kind of like, this just clicked in my head, and I know we're like down a rabbit hole already, but I think the reason why I like Shia LaBeouf and Miles Teller so much is because like they're like crazy rich, but they don't live like they're crazy rich.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they live in LA.
Right.
But they don't live in like huge mansion. They don't drive like all the fancy cars.
They don't like flash their wealth.
Yeah, they don't. They're just like very like I was watching the Theo Vaughn episode on his podcast with Miles Teller, and like all Miles Teller does is like wear like thrifted jeans and band
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. I love
I think you spoke about it on the podcast before.
I did. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. I love him so much. Both of them.
Yeah.
And like Shia LaBeouf is like devout Catholic now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like big
interesting.
into the Catholic. Yeah, he's big into Catholicism.
Interesting.
Which is great for him because of all the stuff he's been through.
Yeah.
So
should be Christianity, but whatever.
It's Christian.
Yeah.
We won't have this argument.
Yeah.
We'll save it for another time.
Yeah. Anyways, super weird rabbit hole we just went down with movies.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I love it.
Technically, today's podcast episode is about faithfulness.
Yeah.
We are on Fruit of the Spirit, faithfulness.
Yeah. I feel like it's such perfect timing too. We just went over what faith is in youth. I want to say this past Tuesday.
Talk about it.
Well,
I want to hear what they said.
All faith really is just like having confidence and assurance in the unknown. That's all faith really means.
Yeah.
And it fits well because like that's kind of how our faith is.
Yeah.
Like obviously we know our Lord Jesus Christ and we know him, but the unknown and the point of having faith is like we don't know what's coming in our lives.
Yeah.
We don't
get to know.
We don't get to know.
Yeah.
That's where faith comes in.
Yeah.
That's the assurance and confidence. You know, like you have to be confident and you have to have like 100% trust in the Lord to know that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
To know what steps you're taking, allowing that, you know, to grow into your discernment and just stuff like that. We just went over it and then I was like,
perfect timing.
I was like, dude, I didn't even know that's what faith meant.
Yeah.
Like truly, like I thought I knew, but then when we really, really broke it down, I was like, huh.
I know, because sometimes faith is just thrown out there about like, you need to have faith, and then it's never talked about like the dark, like, dirty parts of like what it actually means.
Yeah.
And also like what it actually looks like in practice.
Or like when people ask you like, where's your faith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, where's my faith? Jesus Christ.
Right.
That's all people ever really say.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was interesting. One time I heard, and it was based off a scripture in Corinthians, like where it says walk by faith and not by sight.
Right.
And I remember the person, I don't remember where I heard this. I'll have to find it. But they were basically saying that sometimes it's very common for people to say like the opposite of faith is doubt, in which we've already talked about this, but my personal belief on doubt is that it's actually healthy and that the Lord like wants you to dig deeper and like have doubt about certain things so that you can like press in even more.
Right.
So the opposite of faith is not doubt, but it is sight.
Yeah.
So like you said, like not being able to see what comes next.
Well, you can't have faith and not doubt.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of a hot take, but it's the truth. Like,
it's like hand in hand.
Like, how are you supposed to have faith when you don't doubt it every now and then?
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't question it.
Yeah. If you don't question it, then where's your faith?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just tell me like, oh, I heard about Jesus Christ once and I have 100% faith in him. Like, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's not. And it's not true for anybody.
Yeah. It's kind of like a false sense of security.
Yeah, exactly.
And that it's like, oh yeah, you have faith. And like, and this is something we've talked about before in young adults of like the bar to get into heaven is low, but the bar to experience heaven on earth is very high. And it has to do with like, again, that level of faith and how just like having the so-called faith without doubting and like pushing deeper and trying to ask questions about it.
Right.
Kind of just like lets you linger. Which is funny because honestly, that's something I was like super, super convicted about last night.
About what?
In young adults.
I was like, I forgot today's Friday.
Yeah. In young adults, yesterday we talked about, we're in a series of people of prayer and just like what it looks like to be a person of prayer. And yesterday Woody was talking about the style of listening prayer. So instead of like talking God's ear off of like, this is everything that's going on, give me this, I'm struggling with this, whatever, you allow God to like prompt the prayer and like allow him to show you like what he wants to tell you.
Right.
And I remember, so because of prayer room, listening prayer is already something that I'm like really familiar with. And that's like my most common type of prayer. And so in prayer room before young adults yesterday, the Lord guided me to the book of Jonah and like the story of Jonah, which we're all familiar with, like spent 3 days in the belly of a big fish and then got spit out and right. We're all common. Like that's common knowledge. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah. You learned that as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something I realized like the more that I was reading it is that the reason he ended up there, is because he was actively trying to flee from God's presence. God had told him like, go to this city and tell them that this city is about to fall because of all of their sin.
Right.
And Jonah was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So he ran and he was fleeing on a ship and all of his shipmates were like, oh, the winds are so bad. The waves are so bad. Like we need to find out who disobeyed God and like figure out why this is happening. Right. And the lot fell on Jonah and they're like, Jonah, what did you do, dude?
Yeah.
And they all kind of like pieced it together and they were like, oh, you're fleeing from God.
Right.
And at first they were like, oh, well, we don't want to be in sin by mistreating you and like throwing you overboard. Right. But Jonah was like, no, like you have to do it. Like save yourselves, throw me overboard, whatever. And as soon as they did, they threw him overboard. And the first thing they did was like praise God because all of the waves stopped. Right. The sea was calm. And before then, they were all like individually praying to a different God. Like each person on the boat had their own God that they were praying to. And they were like, Jonah, it's your turn. Like wake up, pray to your God and like see if we can be saved. Yeah. And so as soon as Jonah went overboard, they all believed in his God. So I thought that was really remarkable just in that story. And later on in the book of Jonah, it talks about how when it was the third day in the belly of the big fish. And that's when he started to like pray to God again. And what I also noticed is that he was praying to God in the past tense. He was saying like, I know that you brought me out of this big fish for a purpose. Like I thought that was cool too, of like praying in past tense, which again, just like showed his level of faith. But he got spit out and he ended up going to that city that God originally told him to go to.
Did you mean in future tense?
No, in past tense.
How would that be past tense?
He was saying like, I know that he was in the fish.
Right.
And he was saying, I know that you brought me out of this fish. He was speaking it as past tense of like, you brought me out, even though he was still in the midst of it.
Right.
But he got spit out and he ended up going to that city, Nineveh. And he just walked into the city and he said, like, you guys are going to be destroyed. You have 40 days. And the city like starts a big fast and they start to sacrifice and do all the things, right?
Right.
So God ends up sparing them. And I remember Jonah had said it like 3 or 4 times. He said, better is it for me to die than to live. And he was angry. And the reason he was angry is because he knew that God would be merciful and he didn't want that city to be shown mercy.
Right.
And so the Lord was just like revealing this story to me and like the depth of it in prayer room. And then during the listening prayer sermon, Woody had us like go off and spend just 20 minutes doing it again. And I remember I was taken to the book of James, and it says that the Lord has chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith. And I remember the Lord just being like, you have not only become poor in the world, but poor in faith. And it was just like such a convicting moment because, and I've talked about this with so many people in my life, and that's why I'm comfortable sharing it here. And it just like shows my imperfection, you know?
Right.
Is that it's so easy for me to have faith for other people. And, you know, like believe in God's timing in other people's lives. And it's easy to like celebrate and pray and have so much faith that God will act and God will move in those around me. But it's always so hard for me to hold on to that faith in my own life.
Right.
And it's crazy because, you know, in talking about like faithfulness and God's faithfulness, I see it when I look back, right? Like hindsight's 2020. And, you know, just being where I'm at now, I can see how God has been faithful in my life and how he's taken me out of things and delivered me.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's still so hard to actually remain faithful and like have the faith. And I don't know why. I think it's just like the big prayers that I struggle with of like healing or, you know, like the big things that require like a super obvious answer.
Right.
That's where it's always hard for me to have faith. And it was just like a super convicting moment last night where the Lord was like, you've become so poor in faith. And I specifically remember when the way that it was like worded in my brain was how Jonah was saying like, better is it to die than to live. The Lord was like, your version of this is that you think it's better to not approach me at all than to approach with little faith. And it was just a reminder of like, even my little amount of faith, God can still do so much. Yeah. It's the fact that I'm allowing the little faith that I have to steer me away rather than steer me towards him. Right. Yeah. And that was just like so convicting.
I actually think it's funny that you say that because like for me, and this is kind of like, I've talked about this before about like me losing my job, etc. If you haven't heard me talk about this story, I've said it a couple times in a few past episodes. Yeah. But I think it's so funny because for me, I was so kind of like quote unquote rich in the world, but I was so poor in my faith. And then I lost my job, right? And then I ran out of money. I was broke as a joke. And but that moment, those few months that I went without a job and without money and everything, I kind of just allowed myself to grow in faith. Like, it wasn't any more of like, I was just very much like, I'm not getting in the way of anything that the Lord's trying to work in right now. I'm just going to allow it to happen. And, and his blessings will come. And I was in my word every day. I was like growing so much in my faith throughout all of this. And it's kind of like what we've said before, like once you see it and once you experience it, like you don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where I'm at now, is like I went through all of this and I grew so much in my faith to the point where I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I know that this is what I was supposed to learn from this.
Yeah.
Is that I was so poor in my faith. I was so kind of in the same, situation of like, I would have rather not talk to God at all than to talk to him with little to no faith at all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was at. And I was like, again, quote unquote, living like my best life. I was doing what I thought everything was right, making money, being able to afford my bills. Sorry. And all these things. And then, but that was just I was just seeing all the good things that were happening, and I was not giving the glory to God.
Yeah.
I was taking that glory to myself and like talking about how like, oh yeah, I did this to get here, and stuff like that. And then now it's like, it's so flipped. I'm like in a better situation now, but I'm so much like, dude, nothing of this would have been literally possible without God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally here in this position that I'm in now because of God.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where it kind of flipped for me.
Yeah. And it reminds me the book of Matthew. It just talks a lot about like faith of a mustard seed. Like, it really does not take much for the Lord to be able to work and to be able to like show you his goodness. And that's just something that has just been really convicting lately, especially because of last night. But it was just so evident to me that I need to be, how do I word this? Because faithfulness,
You hear that? God is clocking you.
Oh, period. The clock going off in the back. It's just become very evident that because faithfulness is also, and you kind of said it, like once you taste it, you don't want to let it go.
Right.
It's a fruit of the Spirit, and you only get it by being with the Spirit. That's something I've said before, and I'll say it again with this series. Like, fruits of the Spirit only come from the Spirit. And it's just become so evident that like my faith, or I should say my lack of faith in certain areas, is me like Jonah, like fleeing the presence of God. Because it's like kind of again, like Jonah was angry that he didn't get the outcome that he wanted, and he thought better is it to die than to live. And it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of like me right now. That I think it's better to suffer and just deal with these things that I need deliverance from, rather than go to God and like get the answer that I need, rather than the answer that I want. And the biggest prayer that I've been praying, and I've had countless people praying with me to intercede for, is healing over my body.
Right.
I have gone through some crazy changes in my body. And if I haven't said it before, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is a hormone disorder. And it's just caused like a lot of issues. Like, my hormones are so out of balance. And I've just been praying for healing. Like, that's my number one prayer. Like, all I want is to be healed. And it's, again, just like that lack of faith of like, maybe I'm not supposed to be healed yet, because I'm like, there's that barrier, or like that distance of, I'm not allowing myself to have full faith, because maybe the answer is that I'm not supposed to be healed yet. And I don't want that as an answer. Like, it's almost like going to God and saying, oh, I have faith in whatever you want, but like this is actually the outcome that I need in order to be okay. And that's kind of where I'm struggling, is that in this healing, there's like a picture perfect, like this is what it would look like for me to be healed. And if you don't deliver in that way, then I don't want it. And so it's like constricting what God is able to do in my life if it doesn't look the way that I want it.
Right.
So it's just, again, like that lack of faith in that one area. And it was weird too, because I was thinking about it a lot yesterday, of course. And I was just thinking, like, of course I have faith. Like, Jesus is my savior. I have so much faith in him. And, you know, the cross, his death, resurrection, that, like, there's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But it's always like the faith in the big things where I struggle and where there's like a disconnect. I don't know.
It's making me kind of think a little bit. Because the way that I see it is, I feel like you're not allowing yourself to have this faith in the quote big things, because it almost kind of feels like, and I could be wrong, but it almost feels like you feel like you don't deserve it.
What?
Am I right?
Yeah.
that, ladies and gentlemen, is just the Holy Spirit speaking through me.
Yeah.
Literally, because I had no idea, you know, like, you've never really talked to me about, you know, you've told me that, like, you know, you were diagnosed with PCOS and stuff like that, but you never told me that you were struggling.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it sounds like. Well, I mean, now I know that kind of is what it is, you know, but the Lord was kind of just telling me in that moment. That's why I was kind of spacing out, is because I felt like the Lord was telling me, like, you don't feel like you deserve it.
Yeah. Which
is, I mean, first of all, like, we're so unworthy, but there's no reason for you to feel like you're not worthy of healing.
Yeah.
Like that's the wall that you need to break down.
And it's weird because it's like cyclical, because it's like, I don't think I'm deserving of it because of where my faith is. Mm. But because of where my faith is, I think I don't deserve it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, where does that cycle begin to break?
Well, it begins in you.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it all starts with you. I think, you know, that's kind of, I mean, I feel like we all kind of go through this moment in, you know, especially like once we become Christians, like people like to think that life is so much easier once you give your life to the Lord, which is so not true.
Not at all.
Because
it gets harder.
Yeah, because the way that the Lord works is he breaks you down to build you back up.
Yeah.
You know, and we learned that the hard way. Yeah. You know, like I definitely learned it the hard way. You know, like there's many countless days. There's probably more days where I've broken down on my knees, crying, sobbing, ugly crying to the Lord than I have praying happily. You know, because that's what it truly is about. I think he just, like, you know, and for people in today's understanding, you know, like the Lord clocks you. You know, he really, like, doesn't trickle down. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. Like he comes at you in such a
full force.
Yeah, you know, in full force, really. Like he comes at you in 90 miles an hour. Yeah. You know, like if somebody was throwing a 90-mile-an-hour baseball at you.
Fast pitch.
Yeah. You know, like that's kind of how everything comes, but that's where you know, like you make the choice of wanting to break this cycle or not. You know, it really comes down to, that's kind of where free will comes in. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that's kind of how it was for me, is like I was in this constant cycle of everything, you know, of alcohol, drugs, and stuff like that. But I wanted to be right with the Lord, but I didn't want to quit these things. And it really took a lot for me to just kind of be like, obviously it took everything that I went through for it to finally break the cycle of me being like, it took one day of 3 a.m. me being on my knees crying to the Lord, like, you know what? I understand that you're in control. Yeah. And it has to be what it is, you know? And it almost has to become a contentment with whatever it is that the Lord is going to allow.
Right.
You have to be content in that.
Right.
You know, because it can't be so much, if you don't do this, I'm not going to be happy.
Right.
You know, which is kind of what you're in. It almost has to be like, whatever it is that you do, I'm going to be content at the end of the day. Your will be done. And I have 100% faith in whatever it is that you're going to do. But you also have to have that faith of, you know, believing that he will deliver you from this.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy. It's really not. I mean, I just kind of explained how it's not easy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I've said it, I think I said it in the last episode, like I watch, or if not, I just told you, I watched this podcast a lot. And there was an episode that I watched, or I heard, because I listened to them at work. I was listening to this episode just earlier this week of a woman who saw, you know, like everybody in her life getting married. And she had started to believe that, like, why am I unworthy of finding my partner? She didn't get married till she was 41. And she's having kids. Yeah. You know, and like her kids are healthy, you know, and stuff like that. And she's Australian. She has like a pastry business. She's like super famous for her pastries and cookies. But it's like, you know, she was never understanding as to why it was never working out for her. And it got to a point where it didn't work out for her. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't working out for her. So she started just dating like non-believers. And then there was this guy that she dated who was awesome, amazing, but the one thing he didn't want to do is come to Christ. And then they broke up, obviously, because of that. And then she went through another phase of like, it's just not happening for me. And she went back to her ex, you know, and she started to settle. And then she felt the conviction and stuff like that. So it's like this crazy story of like, you kind of have to be content wherever you are because you don't know when it's going to happen or you don't know what's going to happen. But you have to find the contentment in the unknowing. You have to find the confidence in the unknowing of like whatever the Lord does is going to be the right thing. And you I don't know. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't know. It's just like it sounds so simple when you say it, but obviously it's not. But that's just the way it is. I mean, once you're able to have happiness, once you're able to find contentment, once you're able to feel confidence and have that assurance in the Lord that whatever it is that he's going to do is the right thing, then your cycle breaks. Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of, I think, what the Holy Spirit kind of guided me to just now. Is the story of Nathaniel. And Nathaniel is one of Jesus's disciples. Nathaniel suffers from an illness. And as a close disciple of Jesus, he's seeing Jesus perform healing and miracles for so many people. And at one point it's like, okay, what about me? Like, when are you going to heal me?
Right.
And it was just a really intimate moment of your time will come, but in the meantime, the lack of healing allows you to empathize with others who are going through the same thing. And I think sometimes I hold, well, I think the thing is like sometimes I hold that almost too close, where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be healed because I'm supposed to empathize with others and use that lack of healing as a testimony for others, in that even though I am not experiencing that healing, God still shows up in my life in so many other ways. And the lack of healing almost allows me to like disregard how God is showing up in other ways.
I would argue the fact that I would almost say that you lacking the faith of him delivering you one day, I feel like is what could possibly be kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like that's why you're running into this wall. Because how are you supposed to empathize with or help others heal when you have no faith that he's going to deliver you one day?
Yeah. And that's the thing about that story too, is he said, like, even though you're not being healed, I still need you to go out and heal others. I still need you to go out and share the gospel.
Yeah.
And that's where that like barrier has been built within me is, I have that recognition of like, I'm not receiving healing yet, but instead of still believing and still having faith and going out and sharing the gospel and sharing my testimony and sharing all of the other ways that God is showing up in my life, I allow that to be like, well, God isn't doing this. Instead of, well, God isn't doing this yet, but he's doing these things. So many other incredible things. Right. And I'm like, literally the last episode, we talk all about God's goodness and how much God has shown up in my year, like 2025, and just how much of his goodness and his faithfulness had shown up in that year. And yet still there's like that part of me of like, well, there's this one thing. And I'm like, it's like I'm holding a grudge.
Right. I think that you can compare the story of Nathaniel almost to what you're going through. But I think the biggest difference is he had more faith than doubt. Yeah. And it's possible that you have more doubt than faith. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. The Holy Spirit's cooking in me. Hold up. It's just like, that's just kind of the way I see it. Like it's something that obviously, like, everybody who's listening, I'm sure will be praying for you. I know I will. But it's just like, it's one of those things where, like, I mean, it is hard. I almost said it's not hard. No, it is. It is hard, but I think that in the direction that you want to obviously go in is having more faith than doubt. I think you have to allow yourself. I think you have to just ignore the barrier that you've built there of almost like you're building these walls, you're putting these walls up out of trust or out of no trust. It's kind of like when people get into a breakup and then they build walls and then it's hard for them to get back into a relationship.
Also me.
Yeah. And it's like, you have to eventually break these walls down. Yeah. Because how are you supposed to move forward? If you just ignore this wall that's in your way and allow yourself to grow in faith, then your doubt will slowly but surely disappear. And I think that's what it was for me, is I was still so caught up in the world, but I was also so caught up in my faith, and I was just confusing them by binding them together so much that I thought like, wow, like I'm doing great. And in reality, I wasn't. Yeah. So I think you just have to ignore the barrier and walk through it. Yeah. Literally break it down. Yeah, just break it down.
Yeah. And that's something like, that's definitely an area of my life currently where I need to have more faithfulness. Yeah. Like I feel very confident in my faith in other things, but when it comes to my healing, that's where I lack the most faith. And I feel like sometimes also I'm like too hard on myself of, I'm lacking faith in this area. Like, how dare I almost? And like, how can I lack faith in this one area? And I allow it to then like seep into other aspects of my life. Right. But that's also just the beauty about relationship with God is like, I may hold that grudge of like not being healed, but God doesn't hold that grudge. Yeah. And he still wants communion with me, and he still wants to speak to me, even though, I harbor that anger sometimes of like, why can I just not be healed? Like, why can't it just be like the Old Testament and like drop it down right on me? Right. And I will say, like, when that faithfulness wavers, it's so easy to neglect everything else. It's easy to neglect prayer and reading my Bible and being in community and allowing my community to also intercede for me. Yeah. and it becomes a lot easier to like not be as vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that I really felt last night too, is just like spending that time with God in that setting allowed me to feel a lot more at ease with like the vulnerability. Like I probably wouldn't have come on here and like spilled my beans all over this podcast.
Right.
But I feel like that story is definitely going to help someone, and that's why the Holy Spirit wanted it to be this way. Mm-hmm. But I will say, like, even just after last night and like spending so much time in the Word, but also spending so much time just listening to what God is trying to tell me, mm-hmm. really showed me like, yes, he thought like your faith is lacking. It wasn't out of like punishment. It was more so like, I know what I can do for you, but do you know what I can do for you?
Right.
And so it was just like a beautiful thing of like, although, you know, the fruits of the Spirit, you can produce them more and more. That doesn't mean that it's linear.
Right.
It doesn't mean you only grow up in faith. It means sometimes your faith dips and you have to get back up there. Mm-hmm. And it's not linear. Like none of the fruits and none of the Christian walk is just like a linear growth of like everything's great, it's getting only better. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's going to waver.
Right.
And that's okay. That's part of just refinement and sanctification. And that's what's really like anchoring me, is just like the recognition that that's okay. And that it's okay to have those moments, but even in spite of those moments, like you still have to move on. Mm-hmm. You have to move forward.
Right. You
can't let the lack of faith or, you know, those low moments like pull you down so far that you can't recover. Mm. And so like, again, just because of last night and like talking it out with my mentor and having that like recognition is allowing me to move forward with a lot more confidence in my faith, but also just like in that like everything is going to work out the way that it's meant to.
Right.
And like, that's the thing too, is like God is so big that like my lack of faith in this one tiny area of my life will not stop him from performing so many other incredible things in my life.
Right.
So again, just like that recognition is like, we're good.
Yeah.
So I definitely think the Lord just wanted me to like air it out and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because again, I think it might help someone also who might be struggling with faith. It's kind of a hard thing to talk about. Because we feel like as Christians, like we need to be all there sometimes.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, I've been there before. I mean, I won't even lie to anybody. Like just not that long ago, you know, I was kind of struggling with lust a lot. And, you know, not to say that, oh, I'm over it, you know, because like I'm not, you know, it's a constant thing that we live, you know, as Christians. It's very hard, especially when you're single and in your waiting period. But I got so far gone and I remember I sat in my room and it was like 2 a.m. Maybe later, you know, it was probably maybe like 4. And I sat there crying because like I was on like such a good streak of not doing anything, not lusting, no masturbation, no pornography in my life. And then I broke it. And I remember afterwards the conviction that I felt, and I just like had this idea of myself of like, wow, I was doing so good. Like, how dare I, you know, how dare I? So much so that like I inflicted pain on myself, you know, like I was whipping myself on the back, you know, and just like praying for forgiveness while I was doing this. It was almost like when you think of like almost like a monk or, you know, a priest who has devoted their entire life to Christ, and then they you know, like they come to a moment where, you know, they show a little bit of vulnerability and they dip, you know, and they and I was just like literally just sitting there. I sat there for like an hour. I remember, because I would look at the welts in my back for like the next couple of weeks, and I was just like, wow, like I was so deep into it. I was so deep into it, thinking that like, wow, I'm finally perfect. I'm finally delivered from this. But it's not something that you necessarily get delivered from, but like you run from it and you have to trust God in order to continue to flee, rather than being able to think of the fact that like, oh, once it's a one and done thing, you know? But I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of like, that's kind of how it is. I feel like us as Christians, like we are hard on ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
We definitely are. I mean, even so much so that like a freaking, sorry for my language for anyone listening, but I was whooping my own ass. You know?
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with our, and it's repeated so often, like our example as Christians is the most perfect man.
Yeah.
Jesus. And like no one will ever be as perfect.
No.
Like nowhere even close.
No.
And I think sometimes that's where the difficulty comes in, is that we're told time and time again, like he is our example.
Yeah.
And when we stray from it, we punish ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's really hard because, you know, as Christians and especially as young adults, when you're in such a life-changing, like things change so much when you're at this age.
Yeah. 18 to 30.
And like there's just so much change.
It's a big life jump.
And because of that alone, it's already hard. And then trying to do it while chasing after Jesus as the example.
Yeah.
It's like we have nothing to do but fail. We fail every day. But that's where the grace of God comes in. And we tend to like skip that part and just like move over it. And instead of recognizing that although Jesus is our example and that's what the grace of God is for, we're just like, oh, well, Jesus is our example and I didn't do as good as I needed to.
Right.
And we just beat ourselves up over it. And I mean, that's something too, like with Jesus, again, as the example, like the perfect faith, you know? And that's something that I always cling to, is just Jesus, even though he is the Holy Spirit and he is God and he's the Trinity, he would still spend so much time in the Spirit. And he would spend so much time in prayer talking to his Father. And again, that's just like such a beautiful thing to cling to, is like even Jesus would separate himself and pray. And just like have that faith. And it's just, again, like a reminder of even Jesus at the end was like, take this cup from me. If I can get away with not having to do this, like take this cup from me. But he still went through with it. And so it's, again, even in that moment, like Jesus had that, I don't even want to say doubt, but it was that want of like, he didn't want to suffer. I don't think anybody wants to suffer.
No, absolutely.
But he chose it. He chose suffering because he knew that we needed him to.
Right.
And I think that's really what like anchors my faith. When I have those moments of like, I need this to happen, I'm lacking in faith in this area. It's just the reminder of like, even Jesus struggled.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. And it talks a lot about it in Hebrews, is that we have a high priest, Jesus, who is so sympathetic to our struggles because he experienced all of them. So that means like if you're struggling with faith and you had a lack of faith, like your high priest sympathizes because he's been there.
Yep.
And that's, again, just something that I really cling to in moments like this.
Yeah, and he did it for us.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so overlooked. Like people tend to forget like what was the reason behind, the reasoning behind him doing this was literally so that the Lord could have mercy on us. And I mean, yeah. I think it's just so overlooked.
It is.
I think we tend to forget a lot.
And not on purpose.
No, it's not, never on purpose.
Yeah. I think, again, we just beat ourselves up.
Yeah, we get so caught up in our lives.
Yeah.
That we forget.
Yeah. I don't know. And that's the beautiful thing too, is like, there's so much growth that happens when you remember, right? There's like the linear, like it's not linear. Sometimes you forget, sometimes you dip, but remembering the simplicity of it
Yes.
really helps to like bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
Like even lack of faith, like that's just me complicating something that doesn't need to be as complicated.
Yeah.
Like the real simple truth of it is that Jesus came and he died for me and then resurrected to show the love of God.
Right.
And it's always that simple.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, if anyone listening is also struggling with faith, or just remaining faithful, there's always that reminder. And it's always the best reminder to go back to is just the simplicity of the gospel and what it really means that Jesus came and died for us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a cycle right there. It really is.
Yeah. Always come back to that. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. Please give us a like, a follow us on our Instagram at the table pod. Yeah, we're almost done with our season, which is kind of cray.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we'll post any updates, just regarding like next season, our scheduling, whatever. We'll post everything on our Instagram. So if you're curious, make sure to follow us there so you can stay up to date.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that is going to be all. We'll save you a seat for next time.
Bye.
Bye.